Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another video. Today's video is another movie review from Lifetime. Like Lifetime got the movies right now. So I just finished watching this movie. It's called Cleveland Ab- Abduction. Cleveland Abduction. So basically, this guy, well, let's start with the woman. It stars Tara Manning. And also Pam Grier in here as well. It stars a girl. Her name is Michelle. At the time she was 21 years of age. She was staying at home. Well, she's staying with her mom, and she also had a 4-year-old son. So she was putting in places to find work. So she had a job interview to go to work at a laundromat. So her mother was supposed to be watching her son. She said to make sure that her son is looked after well, and then her mother had a smart remark like, well, look how you turned out. I mean, everybody's different, but everybody's child is different at the same time. So she said, make sure you check out him. So while she was doing so at her job interview, the boy ended up hurting himself, and they took him. So then now she had to go to the courts, family court, so she can try to petition to get her son back. And that didn't happen because it didn't go as planned. She ended up getting lost, and she had to figure out a way to get to the courts. So she was stopping by other places to ask her the directions how to get there. So she ran across one of her friend's father at the store, and he was like, yeah, I can take you. It's going to take you about 10 minutes or whatever, but first I got to stop off here, whatever. So doing so, he lured her back to his house, and that's where she was kept. She was kept. Like, he used the ruse of, he had some puppies that his dog had gave birth to. And the crazy thing is, in the beginning, her friend, which is the father's daughter named Emily, was sitting outside with her on the porch waiting for him to pick him up. So, of course, she already recognized his car. So he lured her. His name is Ariel. He lured her with the ruse of looking at puppies, because, every kid likes puppies, so that would be like a good present to see, whatever. So he lured her with the puppies, and he held her captive since then. Like, no if, buts, or what. So she was there for about, I'll say, starting in, I think it was like a month or two. And then he ended up getting another girl. He had her chained up. Michelle, he had her chained up. He was doing sexual acts to her, have her chained up like a dog. And then he moved her from another room because he ended up getting this other girl. She's new in the picture. Her name is Amanda. But while Amanda got there, he ends up getting Michelle pregnant. And he didn't like the fact. He was like, why are you getting fat in one spot? He didn't like that fact. So what he did was he had one of those, I think it's about a 20-pound dumbbell, the big gray ones. He had that, and he hit her in the stomach with it. And lo and behold, the next day, she miscarried. So Amanda ends up taking her place in the house where Michelle used to be at. So Michelle got moved to the front, and then Amanda came in and took where Michelle used to be. So they've been there for about, I would say, for them, it would have been there about a couple of more months down the line. And then, lo and behold, he ends up getting another girl named Gina. Mind you, she's a little girl. Like, she's in middle school. And, he didn't do the same thing to Gina that he did to Michelle. It was like Michelle was the hate that all the anger he had built up, he took it out on her. Like, she was his punching bag, and she endured so much pain and humiliation. It was ridiculous. Down the line, Amanda ends up getting pregnant, and Michelle's kind of upset because it's like, dang, you made me get rid of my baby. And it's like, Yeah. So as the months go on, he gets Gina into the house. He has both Gina and Michelle get their hair cut, and Amanda's hair is still like regular, and everything is like, I don't know, maybe because she was a blonde, I don't know, but yeah, everything Amanda did was like perfect, but in everybody's eyes, abduct, abduction and kidnapping is bad on all parts. Okay, so as the months continue, um, Amanda gives birth. She has a girl. Like, Michelle didn't really understand how labor and delivery went at that time, so she was helping get Amanda situated. And Ariel gonna pull out a gun to her and say, "Well, if you don't do this, I'm gonna shoot you." And then you got Gina crying, and it's like it's too much. Like, you done put this lady through so much throughout the time. This girl through so much pain and torment. Mind you, she's still remembering her son's, Michelle's still remembering her son's birthday each year from the age of 4 all the way to the age of 14. Well, 15. Yes, so he basically took 11 years from all three girls. And Amanda, her child, ended up was like probably like 5, 6, or 7. I'm not sure the age range for her, but yeah, the child ended up living there. But then the little girl, she also started asking questions like why we can't never go outside, why we can't do this, why we can't do this. And then the guy, Ariel, he grabbed on her face like, just stop asking questions. And all the girls came to the fence like, all right, don't touch her, don't do that. So basically, he was treating, like I said, Michelle, like, with all this anger. He was basically feeding her once a day. She kept getting sick a lot. She was very malnutrition. Gina, she was in between, but she was following down the path of Michelle. Amanda, they didn't really have too much of a problem with her because she's a mom, so she also had to make sure she get the proper nutrients and stuff like that. And then one point, while it was just Michelle locked in the house, his daughter came to the house with a bunch of friends, and she started banging on the headboard, and they was like, "What's that noise upstairs?" And he was like, "It was the dog." So he ended up turning up the music and making them all go outside. And then on two accounts, he had Michelle dressed up with a wig and go outside to cut up some boards so they can plaster around the house. And then on another occasion, there is a black neighbor. She heard the screams and then she heard the music playing, so she ends up calling the cops. But they didn't really take into consideration what was going on, because it was like, next time you call us, make sure you figure out which house it's coming from, because then it would have saved us a lot of trouble. But sometimes you gotta be silent so that to make sure you hear everything. But she was in the right area. He just didn't want to do his job. Mind you, it was late at that time. So over the years passed, and then one incident, his daughter's downstairs, and I guess all the women are upstairs. So his daughter's downstairs watching TV, and he leaves. He says, "I'm going to my mom's house to go get some food for us." He made a mistake. He ended up leaving the door open a little bit, and he didn't really think nothing of it. So once the girl heard that he left, she went upstairs and told her mother, like, "Listen, Dad left the door open." And Amanda, she started going to the window and started screaming for help. And then that same neighbor, black lady neighbor, came over to the house and was like, okay. Then everybody started coming, and then that's when the police came, broke down the door, ran into the house. They got everybody out. Michelle was happy that, finally somebody was looking for her, because the whole entire time she was being kidnapped and held in the house. He kept telling her that nobody loves you, nobody's looking for you, and you're nobody. Like, he basically diminished her whole self-esteem and brought her down to a low that, it really sunk in that nobody cared for her, because at that time it was her mother, And then the son got put in foster care. So the mother basically up and left. She basically up and left once she figured out, okay, her daughter is probably on the run somewhere, and that's what it is. They didn't even care about her. Nobody looked for her. Nobody did her visual or nothing. Because at that time, they had access to the TV, so they saw what everybody else was seeing, and nobody did nothing for her. So eventually, after getting out, they all went to the hospital to get checked on. My ring light acting stupid. Okay. After going to the hospital to get checked out, everybody had a clean bill of health. But Amanda, she was still in there for some while because I guess she was really, really sick. And all she kept asking for was to see her son. Come to find out, he was adopted by a family, but they didn't want to have no contact with her because basically they didn't want to uproot and cause commotion to his life. They changed her son's name, and then Ariel went on to trial. He got sentenced to, I think, 100 plus 1,000 years. They all read their victim statements. Like, Michelle's really touched me, had me crying. I was like, wow, he really endured so much pain towards them. The girl, Gina, she looked like she's still having a little time recovering from the fact that it happened to her. I'm sorry. Amanda's living her best life with her child. And Michelle, she still goes out and, spreads love. She's glad that she had God with her. The whole time through her ordeal, she had God. She's like, you got to have faith. And, just know that God's here with me and he's going to help lead you through the way. If y'all have not checked out this movie, y'all need to check it out. It's on Lifetime. I'm not sure if it's on the Lifetime app, but it's on Lifetime. It just sprung up and I watched it, so I was like, that's a good movie. It's called Cleveland Abduction. Yeah, so it's called Cleveland Abduction, and it's based on a true story. So yeah, he basically got sentenced for life. During his sentence time, a month in, he hung himself. That's a coward move right there. Like, you knew you was guilty all them years and you still didn't think nothing of it. And then now that you got caught, you're going to go ahead and kill yourself. He took the coward move out. But yeah, Michelle, she ended up writing a book and spreading her love and her faith about her experiences through everyone else so it can help the next person. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Please give it a like, comment down below. Have you seen this movie? Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.